Inversion was another game that we hadn't heard about until we actually got to the show. Very exciting, very new concept. I think they did something similar in terms of gameplay with Prey, one of the very first games that came out for Xbox. Basically, it's all about gravity manipulation. So you will be able to shoot a gravitational or zero gravity at enemies. They will float in the air seamlessly and without any sort of control or landing. But don't think you're safe at that point, because enemies still react even though they're in that zero gravity, and they will try and shoot you down if they can. Obviously, with the manipulation of gravity comes various powers, where you can throw people or bring them closer to you, manipulate objects, that sort of thing. You can also be affected by zero gravity, as there are enemies with the zero gravity ability, and you will also find yourself lost in time and space, or that sort of scenario, and you'll also have to fight to get your feet back on the ground. A very new concept with the inversion is the fact that you will be able to change your angle. So the world might suddenly flip from one side to another, creating a completely different dynamic, and you'll be fighting enemies from the side of a building wall, and you'll be then shooting down at them as well. Could be kind of fun. Activision Blizzard, obviously one of our biggest publishers, they had a lot to show off. Obviously they brought Call of Duty to the show, they brought World of Warcraft, Diablo, StarCraft. They also brought some behind the scenes stuff, James Bond, which we'll show you through now. James Bond, Bloodstone. What an awesome game. It is looking to be quite incredible. Think anything you want about the James Bond series, they really have put an effort to improve the quality of the game. We saw it come up in Quantum of Solace, where Activision decided they wanted to use the Call of Duty engine, which was a giant leap for those casual market type of games. Now they've really taken a step further with Bizarre Studios, the guys who brought you Blur and PGR. They are now developing the game, and it is much more action orientated, much more intense in terms of getting up close to enemies. Again, you can go and decide how best you want to tackle a situation, whether it be stealthily or if you want to go in guns blazing. There are alternatives on how you approach the situation. There are takedown moves, there's an awesome cover system, and the actual shooting is great. Like the James Bond we've seen recently, there is a very minimalistic type of use of gadgetry. The James Bond we know from Quantum of Solace only uses really a cell phone and maybe some small gadgets. The rest of it is really up to himself, and that's the same sort of concept that gets portrayed in the game. Lots of driving sequences, and now obviously with Bizarre heading the studio, you know that the driving sequences are going to be quite intense and insane, with buildings coming down, huge explosions, some very big Hollywood moments. Very cool game to look out is Bloodstone, coming on Xbox and PS3. But for the Wii guys, don't worry, GoldenEye has been remade for the game as well, and it is looking stunning as well. So very, very cool game to check out for the Wii guys there.
Someone worth dying for. And I will not stop.
Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, one of my favorite games. I really enjoyed the previous Star Wars, and that chance to play as Starkiller and experiencing the Force powers was something exceptional. We haven't really seen it in a game like that before, and I think the only time we got a game where you really felt awesome and powerful was a game like Prototype. And that same sort of feeling is now portrayed in Star Wars The Force Unleashed, where you are now combining your force powers and using it against multiple enemies. They've really scaled the size of the enemies that you approach and the size of your force power. Obviously the story goes now that you've been resurrected from the last game, and you are now being discarded by Darth Vader, and it's now your mission to get back at him and take him down. So the story starts from there and evolves, and eventually you will find the outcome for the movie. But some new concepts for the game includes some exceptionally powerful force moves. You've got a new Jedi mind trick. You will like the Star Wars Force Unleashed 2. where you will be able to confuse enemies, and they will all of a sudden jump off the side of a bridge or go and shoot the enemies. It's not a moment you can dictate properly, but they will go and act on their own whim. Very useful power. And obviously you've got the force push, the pull, the lightning, and you can combine your powers and create something new, which is quite intense. Obviously, the bigger units, one of my biggest things was, when you have the force power, you want to be able to attack the bigger enemies like you see in the CG films, where the Jedi will be able to crush the walkers, or manipulate them in that sort of way. It's in the game now. Now you can do that sort of stuff depending on the strength of your force power. There's also a new thing. It's kind of like an overkill. Once you've reached a certain bar in your force meter, you will be able to expand all of your force powers to their absolute maximum output, giving you incredible strength. When you do your force wave, you literally disintegrate enemies all around you. It's quite incredible to see. So definitely check out that game. Our last publisher was NCSoft, and their big focus was Guild Wars 2. And let me tell you, Guild Wars 2 is looking phenomenal. It is doing things that MMOs have not done, and I just cannot wait. I mean, just have a look at the size of the enemies that you fight. There's a clip with the dragon, and that's not even the biggest dragon they have in the world. Some of the new concepts that they are changing with Guild Wars 2 is, instead of having the normal grind that you have to do to level up all the time, they are now inserting events that happen randomly throughout the world. So you will be within a town with other people, and an event will occur, and you'll be notified of this event, and anybody around there can just join the event. There's no start of the event, there's no countdown. The event is happening live, so you may join the event as it happens, or you may join the event in the middle of it, and depending on your contribution, you will then earn skill points and all the loot that comes from that thing, and you'll be ranked on your activity within it. So very different concept, very exciting, and now we've got new abilities with the Rangers. The Char are coming in as well as playable characters, very exciting, and their new abilities and how you can string them together and create bigger combinations. So for instance, if you have an ability where you can create a firewall, you can then use the Char's rage to shoot off fireballs in a certain direction. Or there's a firewall, and a ranger can use his bow attack to shoot through the flames, and the flames will cause the arrows to light up, causing more damage to enemies and stuff like that. So the game is really more about working together with other people within the game. So you don't necessarily have to be a part of their party, they just have to be within the area, which is very exciting and encourages people to work together for a better cause. One of the other new things is that if you go down as a unit, and somebody can actually come and revive you, while they're reviving you, you have certain skills that can help you survive for the interim while you're down. So trying to keep that gameplay involved, and trying to keep people always interacting with it. The size of the battles have just expanded to an extra length, and looking at the graphics and what they've really done to really crispen this game is something quite phenomenal. And it's one of my most anticipated games, so I'm very much looking forward to that game, and you should too. And that's about it. Thanks guys for checking it out, and remember, Rage is coming up 1st to 3rd of October, and we'll hopefully be able to show you a lot of the games that we've spoken about today. Also hit us up on our Facebook group. It's facebook.com/Megarom Games. Go check it out, like us, and we have loads of competitions and information and games that are coming out all of the time. Just one more big thanks to Gamescom Live for actually helping me get this video out to you guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and leave some comments, and chat to you soon.